Here we go.
Marker. Hello! Welcome to Mergy Movies. I'm Big Mike.
Joseph Ferguson.
We are here for movie-related talk once again. So, this time, I just want to say, like, everybody's been giving me shit because, like, I'm a movie fan. And people are like, oh, yeah. And I said, someone asked me a long time ago, like, have you seen Indiana Jones? I'm like, no, I actually haven't. And they're like, what? You're a movie fan? You haven't seen Indiana Jones? Are you nuts? So, I decided to sit down and I watched Indiana Jones. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't care for it. So this episode, we're gonna talk about overrated movies, franchises, whatever. So like I say, I guess I'll lead on with Indiana. So I just found it weird. First of all, they don't give really much backstory to the character. I'm going by the first movie because I haven't watched the other ones, right? So like, they don't give much backstory to this character. He's just there. He's like a professor who hunts for shit. They don't really add on to the character story. There's really weird comedic elements that seem like out of place. Yeah, as for special effects, I mean, they're good for their time. I mean, 79, I think the first one was in? Something like that. So it's like, things like that is not a big deal to me, but it's just, I don't know. I just found it really weird character development. They kind of rushed things. I didn't really care for the female lead too much. I don't know. Like you've obviously seen Indiana Jones. Like, what are your thoughts on? Do you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it, or is it like
for me? They're kind of, and this isn't indicative of Harrison Ford. For me, I find the Star Wars movies a little overrated.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But that's probably because I'm a Star Trek fan. But
there you go.
But no, they're really. I find the Star Wars movies really oversimplistic.
That is true.
They are really simplistic. The character motivation are really. Everything's really flat.
Right.
In them. They're wildly creative. They're very beautiful to look at, but the story, the universe is really kind of simplistic.
So I guess what we're saying is George Lucas, you're
a little lazy.
Yeah, a little lazy. I get it. I totally get that.
Yeah. Another one of the big special effects spectacle that changed the game is Avatar.
Yes, definitely overrated. Like, hey, I get it. It's pretty.
It's not even James Cameron. It's close to James Cameron's best movie.
No freaking way. And like everybody's pushing, like, oh, we got to see Avatar 2. And he's like, keeps pushing it back and pushing it back. Like, what is his reasoning for that, dude?
I don't know. I tweeted, one time, why is it taking him 15 years to make a sequel to Space Pocahontas?
Exactly. Space Dances with Wolves. Yeah. Like, it's so, and yeah, the story is so, again, simple, easy, told before
100 times, and he's not really even doing anything creative.
No, like the only thing that's creative is that he has basically the blue people have sex with everything on the planet.
Yeah.
So they connect.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it's like I don't. It's like the universe building, like the rules of the universe are interesting, but the actual story that he's telling, is not that interesting. It's been told 100 times, and it's been told better.
Oh, of course, and like. Sure, like, because there was talks like, oh, Avatar 2 is going to be like underwater because there's like a whole other world underwater.
Space Little Mermaid.
Exactly, that'd be freaking hilarious. Like you're watching this, it's like Jake meets someone new. She happens to live under the water. He falls in love with her, but then she
has
gets
a singing
legs.
crab.
Yeah, she has singing crabs. Like, what is going on here? Is he just ripping off of their franchises?
And you look. He's actually his two other biggest movies were sequels. So I have an honest question, like, take Titanic out of the picture.
Yeah.
Take Titanic out of the picture. Is he completely incapable of coming up with his own ideas?
That is also true, right?
Well, Terminator, I guess, was his own idea.
Yeah, so Terminator, I guess I could see, but the problem is, like, he wasn't involved in 3, and any of the other ones after 3 then, right? So they kind of sort of fell flat in their own way, but at the same time, they're talking about bringing, new Terminator movie again. I think he's involved this time, sort of. Does that
Maybe
change
it's like
anything?
a far producer. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that changes anything. But yeah, it's like Titanic. I'll give him credit for Titanic. That's it. That's a good movie. You know.
Yeah.
It's Terminator 2. I mean, but Alien he's just ripping off Ridley Scott.
Yeah, well,
he's just sequeling a Ridley Scott movie.
Yeah, exactly.
We did watch one of his movies called Into the Deep. If you've ever seen it.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
It's got I can't remember who's all in it, but it was actually a really good movie.
Okay.
It's another Alien movie, but it's like a mixture of it's kind of like Sphere. You remember Dustin Hoffman's?
Oh shit, that was a long time ago.
Aliens at the crushing depths of the ocean.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it, but I've seen clips from it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
This movie it's actually not bad.
Okay.
And one of the very first uses of really intense CG in the early '80s.
Well, he did some groundbreaking stuff with T2, with the T1000 and all that. That's still talked about as one of the coolest moments. And
I easily see that moment. He tested that technology in this movie.
Right, and I guess that's what he's kind of. It's like he's making movies just to test how far technology can go.
Yeah, he's more of the tech nerd than an actual storyteller.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So it's like, oh look, 3D technologies just came out. Let's make the best 3D movie ever, and it is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
to look at. But
the story, him and Zack Snyder are kind of in the same mold as each other.
Totally.
You know, the visuals and the actual machines and the art of doing it takes precedence over the actual storytelling.
Exactly. Yeah. So because he was known recently for basically complaining that the superhero franchises, I'm sick of seeing Avengers, whatever. Okay, we get it. We discussed in the previous episode, there is oversaturation in the market for sure. But then, why don't you take the initiative and be like, you know what? I'm going to do one too, and I'm going to do it better. Why not do that? Why not do that for yourself? Fuck it. See, I'm sure Marvel wouldn't say no.
DC would throw.
Well, DC would just freaking here, take some of our shit. Do the. He could do a Namor. He could do a Submariner movie. What else could he do? He could direct the new Cyborg movie. If they did a Cyborg movie.
Cyborg.
What else could he do? Could he do Lobo good? I don't think so. Right?
I don't think so.
You kind of need a comedic actor or director.
I know he's already done a movie and he's got his flag firmly set in the Marvel universe, but Taika Waititi would be great for Lobo, the guy who did Thor Ragnarok.
Definitely, that would be interesting. Who directed Deadpool? Both of them? Was it Rob Liefeld?
No, Rob Liefeld did not direct them. It was the first one. Was his very first movie. It was his very first movie. He was a CG guy for video. He did animations for in between cuts of video games.
Right.
And his production company produced the short that was leaked.
Yeah. Leaked. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ryan Reynolds basically said, "Well, why don't you direct the actual movie?"
It's okay.
So.
Oh yeah, right. I remember seeing him in an interview. So yeah, okay. I remember him talking about this because I also watched or listened to a podcast where he was actually on Hollywood Babylon, with Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman. So they actually had him on there for a few minutes and talked about it. But okay, I got to gush for 2 seconds about Deadpool 2. Have you seen the newest trailer with the recruits? The recruits, that one guy. He's what's his name?
Peter.
Peter. That's
that one is the best.
I know, everybody's just all right. I'm looking forward to Peter more than I am anybody else except for maybe Cable. But it's just that's freaking awesome. He's I just saw a flight, I thought I'd sign up. You're in. I know there's gonna be somebody awesome. Yeah, he's freaking falling out of the skydiving out of the helicopter plane or whatever. I'm totally looking forward to that show. It just looks so freaking ridiculous. So that's what the awesome thing you could do in Deadpool. So, but anyway, sorry, gushing for a minute. So let's get back to the topic. But yeah, I just find another people that say he could be overrated, and maybe it's just because he had the flop with, I think it was Ultron, because he directed Ultron, didn't he, Joss Whedon?
Yeah, Joss Whedon.
So some people are saying he's overrated now too. Is he really?
Joss Whedon, I think him and J.J. Abrams are kind of cut in the same cloth.
Right.
They're both TV guys, and they thrive in TV.
Right.
Their shows really good. they have to find the right movies to do. Like, I mean, JJ, when he tackled the first Star Trek, he did really well.
Mm-hmm.
His second jump into it wasn't so good.
Yeah, I heard that was right.
Yeah. You look at, say, the first Avengers movie was great.
Oh, it's still awesome.
And you watch, like, Joss's TV shows. Like, okay, he created one of the biggest shows of all time, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Mm-hmm. And then he also created Firefly.
Right, Firefly, yes. So it's, and the thing about TV is you have that time to tell stories, to develop your characters and whatever. And I mean, the thing he had with the Avengers is that these characters have already been developed. Yeah. So to do a movie with all of them together, he had the relationships from before to fall back on to make a good show.
And that's one thing he does do. Joss Whedon does very well is interpersonal relation, like talking and
definitely.
And he also, you watch his shows, he also has an incredible ability to do this. All of his shows are ensembles. I mean, even Buffy, you had Buffy, but you had her Scooby Gang, all of her friends. Yeah. And everybody gets equal time on Buffy. Everybody gets.
And that's good. Because
and that's one thing he did really well with the Avengers is everybody got equal time.
That's right. And one thing, it's like with other TV shows too. Like for example, like The Flash. What I find funny, what I find dumb, is that again, I shouldn't say. You can give people equal time, but then sometimes people give the wrong people equal time. You know what I mean? Like
you got to know who to give that time to.
Like basically, yeah, exactly. Like this season, I guess on Flash, I haven't been watching, but the elongated man, really weird character to use, has it's basically the elongated man show right now, which is kind of weird because Grant Gustin has the charm of Flash and whatever, and if you're not using that, and then you can still, give everybody equal screen time, but. It's just not the same. So
you gotta know how to use it. Like he's usually pretty good at it. Everybody throws a stinker out there.
Of course.
Everybody has terrible movies. No one bats 1,000.
Well, I mean, M. Night Shyamalan's a really good example of that.
Yeah.
Freaking knocks it out of the park and then freaking
hits a couple triples and
then done. But he did sort of make a comeback with Split because Split was pretty awesome.
Split was pretty awesome. He also went back to what worked really well for him, which was smaller budget.
Definitely. I'm very interested, because this is like his first sequel that's coming up, right? I guess, not counting Split.
Split sort of, but that's sort of more like a Marvel universe where it's like this character gets a movie and this character gets a movie. Exactly. Because he's doing, Glass now?
Yeah, Glass. So I hear the trailer for it is, like, with the footage that they've shown, is insane. Like, it's nice. Yeah. It's awesome. But at the same time, it's like, yeah. So, I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what happens in the future of that show. So, but we'll see. So. But yeah, so, overrated people. It looks like we mostly focused on George Lucas
and
James Cameron. So, but yeah, definitely, like you say, with the Star Wars universe, it is very simplistic. That's why, not that I'm a gigantic Star Trek fan, but I can appreciate the storytelling, the depth in which they go with their characters. I totally understand why it's very successful and why people love it. I'm not like, I hate Star Trek. I'm totally opposite. No, I totally get it. Like, I've watched movies with you before, and I've watched TV show clips from you that you've shown me and things. Like, I mean, if I'm in the right mood, I'll definitely end up, sitting back and watching it, and watching awesome scenes again and stuff. And plus, just you describing it to me is awesome. So, just things like that. Like, if you do something way too oversimplistic, it looks pretty, but then it doesn't hit you in the heart.
It's all icing and no cake.
Exactly. It's like, again, going back to Pixar. Pixar has that. They have the icing on the cake. And then the
cake is good too.
It's delicious. In fact, the cake it's so delicious it makes you cry. Yeah. So that's the thing about Pixar and/or other companies. Disney can usually knock it out of the park. They have a couple once in a while,
but even Pixar has hit a couple clunkers.
Yeah, fair enough. Like Cars 2 and what else? What else do they have recently? Not recently, but.
Some of their shorts also have been clunkers too.
I agree with that. But anyway, so I guess George Lucas and James Cameron and Indiana Jones are a little overrated. Although I can appreciate the special effects for the time, I get it. I'm pretty sure there were animals harmed in Indiana Jones, though, like for real, because there's no way he got through without stepping on a snake or something. You know, I tell you, that's insane. So. But anyway, so until next time, I'm Big Mike.
I'm Justin Ferry Ferguson.
And grab your popcorn, folks, because Indiana Jones is stepping on some snakes.
Yeah.